In this video, I'm going to show you how to use man-in-the-middle-f plugins. Now, before using these plugins, we have to downgrade a library called Twisted that comes pre-installed with Kali because it's not compatible with man-in-the-middle-f. So, I'm going to first of all remove the one that's already installed by doing rm-rf usr lib python 2.7 dist packages, and the library name that we want to delete is called Twisted. As you can see, we got no errors, which means the command got executed properly. And the next step is to install the Twisted version that is compatible with man-in-the-middle-f. So we're going to do this by doing pip install twisted equals 15.5.0. So all we're doing here is we're using pip, which is a package manager for Python, to install a package called Twisted. So I'm going to hit enter. And as you can see, it's telling us that it's successfully installed. So now we can use man-in-the-middle-f plugins. And before doing that, I'm going to clear the screen and just run man-in-the-middle-f -- help. And as you can see, we have a number of plugins that we can use once we're the man in the middle. Now, before testing these plugins, I'd like to note that they should work against both HTTP and HTTPS. However, according to online reports, it might fail when testing against HTTPS because man-in-the-middle-f seems to have issues with injecting JavaScript in HTTPS pages. It never happened to me, I'm just going by reports, so I'm not sure if it's because man-in-the-middle-f itself or if it's because the people just did not know how to use it. Anyway, there is a more reliable method of injecting JavaScript in HTTPS pages, but it requires programming knowledge. Therefore, I only cover it in my advanced network hacking course and in my Python hacking course. If you're interested in that, then check out the bonus lecture, the last lecture of this course, for more information about these courses and a comparison between all of my other courses that you can take with this course. With that being said, let's go and test these plugins against both HTTP and HTTPS. So we can inject JavaScript code using the Inject plugin, and we'll have a look on that later on in the course. We'll have a full lecture on that. We can also inject a keylogger, and we'll have a look on this later on in this lecture. And you can use the screen plugin right here to take screenshots of the loaded pages on any computer that is connected to the same network. So let's have an example of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the exact same man-in-the-middle-f command that we've always been using. And the only thing is I'm going to add -- screen to load the screenshot plugin, which will take screenshots of every loaded page. You can also add -- interval to specify the interval in seconds between screenshots, but I'm just going to keep this to the default, so the program is going to take a screenshot every 10 seconds. So I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to go to the target computer. Now, like I said, you will get the best results if you test this against HTTP pages. Therefore, I'm going to go to a HTTP page called vulnweb.com. And I'm going to go for any of these. So let's go for test ASP. And maybe just go on the forum here. And now, if we go back to the Kali machine, it should have taken screenshots of these pages. So I'm going to go to another desktop. I'm going to open my file manager. And we're going to go to the location where man-in-the-middle-f stores the screenshots. So you can either press Ctrl and L from your keyboard, or you can click in here, not on the search, click on here on the title bar, press a /, and as you can see, you will see the path bar opening up for you. And you want to go to var log man in the middle F. And as you can see, we have the screenshots here. So if we open this, you'll see this was the page that was loaded. And if you keep going through them, you will see the other pages that we loaded. Now, let's go and see if this will work against a HTTPS pages. Like I said, it should work, and it actually works for me, but a lot of people have reported issues. So we're gonna go to CNN.com. Again, this is a website that uses HTTPS by default. You'll see that it's automatically getting downgraded to normal HTTP. And when testing this, make sure you delete the browsing data before you test it, just to make sure that the web page is not gonna load from the cache and from the offline data. And let's go back to the Kali machine and see if we got a screenshot of this. And sure enough, here, if we double click this one, you can see this was a screenshot of the page as it was loading. But if we wait 10 more seconds, we will actually get another one because the plugin is taking a screenshot every 10 seconds. Now, let's go back to here, and I'm gonna Control-C to quit this to stop it from taking screenshots. And the next plugin that I want to show you is the JS Keylogger. So again, we're just removing the -- screen, and I'm gonna type JS Keylogger. I can't really see why you'd want to use a keylogger in the page, because we can just sniff the data. But in any scenario, if you ever needed to use a keylogger, then you can use it this way. And let's go to another website. So let's go back to our HTTP website, VulnWeb. And maybe let's click on the first result here. And maybe in the search, we will just search for test, and see if this is. So keep in mind, I actually didn't submit anything now. So if you are sniffing, you wouldn't actually see this yet until I submit it. But if we go back here, you can see that the keylogger has captured T, TE, TES, TEST, and then it has the full word in here. So it's literally capturing every letter I type on my keyboard. Now, let's go and test this against a page that uses normal HTTPS. And let's go to CNN.com again. Now again, in the search bar, let's just type Z security test and see if this got captured. Now, as you can see, it's not there, and I think it's because the page wasn't fully loaded. So let's type something else now. So I'm gonna just delete this and type test 2.2. And perfect, as you can see, we got it right here, test 2.2. So again, it's working against HTTPS, but like I said, a lot of people reported issues with it. So if you tested it, if you followed everything, if you're not seeing any errors, you can ask us in the Q&A. We'll try to help you and debug the issues. But at the end of the day, all of these plugins rely on injecting JavaScript in the loaded pages. Man in the middle of tries to inject JavaScript in both HTTP and HTTPS, but in many cases it fails with HTTPS. If it's failing, like I said, I do cover a more reliable method in my Python course and advanced network hacking courses. So if you're interested in that, check out the bonus lecture for links to these courses and for a comparison between all of the other courses that I teach. Also, keep in mind, this will never work against websites that use HSTS. So like we said before, HSTS is used by Google and Facebook and all of these really big and popular websites. The reason why it doesn't work against these websites, because modern browsers come with a list that is stored locally with websites that should only be loaded as HTTPS. So even if we try to downgrade the connection to normal HTTP, the browser will just refuse to load that website. Right now, there is no practical way of bypassing HSTS, but I will update you as soon as there is a method to do that.